You're watching Notepad. I'm your host, Ibrahim Sani. It's going to be a long week. For this week, we're going to be getting a lot of economic data from the Malaysian GDP as well as Indonesia and Philippines. We're also going to be expected to see some FOMC data coming in as well, not to mention the OPR possible hike rate that's going to take place midweek. So on top of all this, there's a lot of other things that are happening in Malaysia. One such item is, of course, the BMCC, or the British Malaysian Chamber of Commerce. They are set to host the third edition of the Business Excellence Awards. This award gives recognition to some of the businesses in Malaysia that have contributed towards the continuing prosperity between the UK as well as this country. Joining us on the line is Jennifer Lopez, the CEO of BMCC. Jennifer, thanks for doing this. I know this is a rather last-minute setup, but I really appreciate you coming on the show.
Thank you, Ibrahim. It's our pleasure to be part of the show and share about what the Chamber does.
Let's talk a little bit more about the award. This award is actually to celebrate the successes of some of the enterprises in Malaysia as well as the UK. There's some key awards like Business of the Year, Partnership of the Year, and so on. Maybe you can tell us a little bit more into what went through BMCC in starting this award and what was expected to be achieved from the first two editions before we jump into this year's edition.
Okay. The Business Excellence Award was installed in 2018. As you mentioned, Ibrahim, it is actually to celebrate the success of UK-Malaysia businesses, as well as, importantly, the UK-Malaysia partnerships, business partnerships. I think everyone is very familiar of UK, the British businesses, and the historic relations that we have. So it is to recognize the partnerships that has been around for centuries in Malaysia, more so of to celebrate the commerce and industry, the businesses between UK, Malaysia, trade and investments. So that was the idea when the awards was installed, because if you see, recently there's lots of news about investments. You don't see a lot of news about UK investments coming in, but in fact, Malaysia is still a preferred destination for UK investors in terms for, definitely.
Why do you think the UK businesses are trying to still see some further growth in this country? What attracts them to come here?
Okay, in terms of Malaysia, firstly, because of Malaysians, we still have a strong affinity to the British products and services of the quality. Many Malaysians are, studied in the UK, some form of relations with the UK. So this is actually a good attraction for UK businesses. In addition to that, Malaysia has its own strength in terms of as a destination for investment and trade. If you look at Malaysia, UK business, what attracts, we are now going into UK-Malaysia trade and investment, yeah. So let me just give you some facts. Why it's an attraction, preferred destination for trade? Number one is the location of Malaysia itself. It is located in the heart of Southeast Asia. So Malaysia offers a convenient, cost-effective location for investors to set up their regional operations. This also signifies the importance of Malaysia as a market entry point for the ASEAN market, because now more UK businesses are looking beyond Europe. They are looking at ASEAN, home to 600 million population, and Malaysia is strategically positioned. So whatever you say about Malaysia, Malaysia is known for its supportive government policies that benefit business. I've been working with the Chamber for 4 years. I do see a lot of Malaysian government investment agencies very supportive of not just UK, total investors in Malaysia, especially during the pandemic. They're very responsive and attentive to support the investors in Malaysia. And Malaysia also has a fair list of investments, generous incentives to attract and help grow businesses here in the region itself. And of course, if you compare to our neighbors, apart from Singapore, there is Malaysia has good infrastructure and connectivity. Our infrastructure and connectivity is well developed and maintained with international airports, seaports, making doing business in the region for these UK investors more efficient and and effective, right? And because of we are also known for our talent. Whatever, like every countries, there is challenges, but Malaysia is well known for the Malaysian talent. We are all adaptable. We are known to be adaptable, tolerant. We speak a minimum of 2 languages. So making us Malaysian talent valuable for these organizations, right?
Jennifer, some of the awards signify very important reliance towards profit-making entities. Are there areas where you are also seeking to recognize non-profit entities or NGOs that contributes towards the better well-being of UK and Malaysia ties?
Yes, our awards have always taken into account non-social enterprises, non-profit organizations, as well as importantly SMEs also. So in the past, for technology and innovation, for example, the award, it was given to the Lost Food Project. I'm not sure, Ibrahim, if you heard about the Lost Food Project. They are an organization that looks at food wastage. So they work with companies that that are able to. They work with groceries and all the wastage. It is distributed to the underprivileged. So they have a system in place to to make sure an innovative system that food does not go to waste, groceries does not go to waste, and is channeled to the right people. So, for example, we do take into account that. And in 2019, when the last award was held, we also recognized the Teach for Malaysia for their efforts as a social enterprise. So we do look into that. Our awards are not just for businesses that are profit, but also for non-profit. They are also welcome to participate.
That's right. Regarding Teach for Malaysia, the specific award goes at the UK-Malaysia Educational Institutional Partnership, I presume. That also places a good reliance on education. A lot of Malaysians do go to the UK to further their studies. And I would bet that the UK would be the most preferred place to study overseas amongst Malaysians right now. I don't know whether I'm right or wrong on that. Australia might be quite competitive in that sense. But because of that, you see the UK exporting the education process even further, considering that whole affinity of Malaysians in furthering their studies there.
Okay, you're absolutely right. UK is a very attractive destination for Malaysians to further their studies. Before China was in the picture, Malaysia was the largest contributor of international students to the UK, right? So we
say that. I'm sorry.
Sorry, Malaysia. Okay, sorry. Malaysia is the largest contributor of international students to the UK. After China at the moment. After China. In the past, we were the largest. So the number of international students from Malaysia for the UK, Malaysia is the largest composition after China currently. But in the past, we were maybe 15, 20 years ago.
No wonder they say Kampung London. Now I get it.
Yeah, you go to UK, right? You walk on Oxford Street, you sure dengar, yes. Huh? So you need to be careful when you speak.
Yeah, tak boleh nak ngumpat.
Yeah, Malaysians. And now, a lot of Malaysians are going for holiday with the borders open, right? Going to London. Okay. If you see. So going back to your question about, UK-Malaysia education partnerships, that's why this year we brought in the UK-Malaysia Educational Institution, a specific category. This is a new category which we want to celebrate the success, the influence and strength of British education in Malaysia, and the partnerships, the various partnerships that have been formed in education to develop and support Malaysian talent, which is so important for our nation, economic growth, right? Talent is the key for every employer in Malaysia. So, and I just wanted to add here, this is my passion and this is what the Chamber advocates, to say that Malaysia is actually positioned well to be a very good regional education hub. It's not just for UK education, but overall, even the quality of Malaysian universities, University Malaya, we have the local private universities. They have great partnerships with UK institutions, and this actually positions Malaysia well to be regional education hub to attract most international students into the country, and this will indirectly or indirectly contribute to the economic growth in Malaysia.
Right, Jennifer, we're gonna pause for now. We'll be right back after these messages.
Melindungi anda dan seisi keluarga dalam ruang tertutup. Panasonic.
11 negara mengejar kegemilangan. Berikan sokongan buat pasukan Malaysia yang bersemangat mengibarkan bendera negara kita. Perjalanan menakjubkan bermula di acara sukan terbesar Asia Tenggara. Upacara pembukaan Sukan C ke-31. Siaran langsung 12 Mei 9 malam. Semarak juara di Astro Arena dan Astro Go.
Sayang laguku untukmu pengganti diriku. Semoga kau akan terhibur selalu di dalam suasana hari raya. Terimalah dengan rasa bangga.
Untuk memastikan Malaysia
ada
ke depan
kita boleh maju. Hentikan
induknya
spekulasi
adalah Melayu
balik
pun
kepada support
Islam.
system. Orang yang membuat polisi.
Kalau itu yang dikehendaki, fine. Mungkin kita berbeza pandangan.
Tapi kita mempunyai kuasa yang boleh menentukan budaya di masa hadapan.
Polisi yang mesra wanita sudah tentu dia akan datang daripada pemimpin wanita.
Thanks for staying on with us. We're talking about the British Malaysia Chamber of Commerce and their plan to host the third Business Excellence Awards. Just before the break, we heard Jennifer talking a little bit more about the education aspect of the UK-Malaysia ties. We've also touched a little bit on the non-profit aspect as well. But before we go on any further, Jennifer, maybe you can talk to us with regard to BMCC per se. There's a lot that has been done by the Chamber of Commerce, but perhaps people have not heard of BMCC just yet. Maybe you can share with us some ideas of what British Malaysia Chamber of Commerce is all about and what you guys stand for.
Okay, the British Malaysian Chamber of Commerce, next year we'll be celebrating 60 years. But I personally believe the British Malaysian Chamber, or an entity or a network like the UK Malaysia Business Network, has been in existence for many years, but formally established in 1963. So next year we celebrate our 60th anniversary. Is one of the prominent And I will say it is well known, at least with the regulators in Malaysia and business community, in terms of an international business chamber with a wide network and strongly equipped, very strongly for the purpose of advancing the growth of UK-Malaysia bilateral trades and investment. So the chamber has been serving successfully both British and Malaysian businesses, continuing our mandate, as I said, in fostering the bilateral trade between both nations. So over the past 50 years, what have we been doing? In addition to creating various platforms to provide the networking opportunities, the opportunities to meet partners, meet investors, we also provide opportunities for companies to brand and profile themselves, which is very important in today's business world. To position their products and services to showcase their business in Malaysia. And the number 3 is what we do is that we have been the voice of the industry for UK and Malaysia businesses. And this has become very important the last 24 months, especially during the pandemic, supporting businesses to have discussions with the government, the different ministries on different challenges that businesses go through, and how discussions can come, how we can come together to come to a platform to make the ease of doing business in Malaysia better. So we are, a voice of the industry that we have strengthened the last few years. And last but not least, we also continue to support trade and investments in Malaysia. We have been the official delivery partner for the Department for International Trade UK, supporting UK businesses into Malaysia in terms of expanding to market entry. And we are a British Malaysian Chamber of Commerce, so we will also want to support Malaysian companies expanding into UK. So we are strategically positioned to support both Malaysian and UK businesses.
Jennifer, there's also that element of members of the Chamber of Commerce. Maybe you can rattle off some names to make us a little bit more familiar with the components of BMCC.
All right. So in terms of our members, we have both, it's 50% British companies and 50% Malaysian companies with investments into UK. So you want names, I think at the top of your mind, I'm proud to say AstraZeneca. That's one of the most famous names the last few months. So AstraZeneca Malaysia is a proud member of the chamber. We do have both banks, HSBC and Standard Chartered. We also have, Sports Direct, Variety, Shell Malaysia, BP Malaysia, and of course the education institutes. There are 5 UK campuses, full-fledged university campuses in Malaysia, and Malaysians, we should be proud of that. We are the only country have full UK campuses in Malaysia. If you would have heard about Nottingham University, Harriet Ward, Southampton, Newcastle and Reading, and various other collaborations like Lancaster, Hertfordshire. These are all the UK universities. And in addition, we also have schools. Some of you would have heard of Marlborough College, which is the Duchess of Cambridge attended in the UK. And we also have Epsom College in Nilai. So there's various names, household names of UK brands that are members of the chamber. Another household name would be Dyson. So we do have, I think that's enough.
Yeah, that's a good repertoire.
We are very, very proud of our members. Normally, I will have a backdrop behind me, a virtual backdrop of all the brands of our members, right? But today I can't
we can't fit everything inside one screen. Yeah, Jennifer, let's talk a little bit more about the situation that is happening in the UK as well as in Malaysia when it comes to the economy. Inflation is actually impacting both economies, not just actually UK and Malaysia, but of course many other countries as well. But inflation is impacting our economies right now. At the same time, the economy is picking up because of COVID-19. We saw how the Bank of England has raised interest rates to actually cool down the economy a little bit better because of the rising inflation rate. Malaysia might see the same. At the same time, because of the long history, the storied history of both the UK and Malaysia, we do expect our economies to continue to be intertwined. Not just about the brands that you mentioned just now, but you know, from the SMEs as well, or medium-sized enterprises that want to venture into the UK, and likewise from the UK into Malaysia. So there seems to be a lot of trade that is going to happen in the near future. Already we've seen how the UK is the top 10 trading partner for Malaysia right now. Where do you see the direction of businesses going in and out of these two countries in the near future? Do you think that the future is a little bit bright, or do you feel that things are going to cool down a little bit because of the rising inflation rates?
That's a very good question. I'm very pleased that you asked that question. You know, just this morning, you know, preparing for the interview, I was looking at the trade figures between UK and Malaysia. And interestingly, you know, I'm so pleased to say that trade has always been strong, even during the pandemic. And just comparative to last year, despite the pandemic, there has been an increase in the trade figures between UK and Malaysia. In fact, by 15%, you know, comparative at the end of 2021, comparing 15%, the UK-Malaysia total trade is about £5 billion, I can tell you. And I'm so pleased to report there's increase in the trade. And mostly it's a balance between goods and services. So I would like to take a positive outlook on this, despite the challenges. Despite companies, UK companies, and both good Malaysian companies have been resilient, you know, and adapted. That is, you know, coming back to the awards. That's why this year it will be even more meaningful. The awards will be even more meaningful because we will be recognizing those companies that have been agile, have been adaptable, have been resilient. So going back to your trade figures, we will see, this is also from my observation in speaking to UK businesses, especially SMEs who are interested to expand into the ASEAN market. You know, there are opportunities in Malaysia, especially in technology. Malaysian companies are looking for partners in digitalization and technology, in advanced manufacturing. Number two, in terms of, with Malaysian government committing for the climate action ambitions. So we also see interest in this area from the UK businesses to come in. And Malaysian companies are also, to keep up with the objectives of climate action. Malaysian companies are also looking for partners to how they can implement their climate ambition targets. So there's also opportunities there for services to come into the country. And in terms of Malaysian companies going into the UK, there, you will see that fashion is actually the #1 export into the UK market. And there is much interest, and that's where, I will take a positive outlook in terms of, despite all the challenges, trade and investment will continue to expand, and we hope it will continue to increase.
So the BMCC's Business Excellence Awards is going to take place May 26th. Of course, this is a gala event. Maybe you can share with us the event itself. What do you expect? How many people are going to be attending? And sorry, I have to ask, did you guys have the awards during the pandemic?
No, unfortunately, we didn't. We had, because of the pandemic, we decided that we will focus on, in supporting our members to maneuver through the challenges during that time. Especially in 2020, it was adapting and going through a lot of SOPs, and also we were on the ground, meaning that digitally on the ground, supporting our members, sharing about what the SOPs and providing clarifications. And also we couldn't do the awards then, so we took a break. In 2021, we actually launched it at the end of 2021 because we thought 2022 will be a great year when we are going to recovery, to recognize those companies that, as I mentioned, right, who have been outstanding in terms of managing the pandemic, being resilient and striving during tough times. So that's why we decided that we will have it in 2022. There will be a chance to really, really recognize those companies that were outstanding. Right.
Fantastic.
So,
all right. I wish I can have a little bit more time with you, but unfortunately, that is
really?
all the time that we have. Yeah. Any final words, Jennifer?
Yes,
before we part
I would
our
like
ways?
to say that the gala dinner, which is the time that we will be giving out the awards and celebrating the success, will be attended by 400 to 500 industry leaders, government officials, and business professionals. A great opportunity to be part of. We'll be having it at the Sunway Resort, and the food will be served by the Gordon Ramsay bar and grill, which is not yet opened. So a great opportunity to network, not just network, but also to be the first people to savor the great food from a 3-star Michelin chef's kitchen. So I hope that you guys can be there and joining us to celebrate the success of UK-Malaysia partnerships.
Fantastic. I can't wait. I mean, like, this is...
I hope you come.
Of course, we'll try. We'll try. That's happening on the May 26th. But I'm sorry, we really do have to end this conversation. Jennifer, thank you so much again for coming on the show, in the very last minute. But of course, that was Jennifer Lopez, the CEO of BMCC, or the British Malaysia Chamber of Commerce. If you've missed any part of this interview, just head on to astroawani.com, look for British Malaysia Chamber of Commerce or BMCC. Until then, thanks very much for watching and goodbye.